There comes a time where loved things are forgotten and evil things are found. This is the case of Springtrap, or as some people know him or her as Spring Bonnie. Also, the main killer of the Five Nights at Freddy's series. Here before you, we have the main animatronics. Freddy Fazbear, Chica the Chicken, Golden Freddy, Foxy the Pirate, and Bonnie the Bunny. Each of the body parts you see laying before them is the piece of Springtrap that they come with. Freddy comes with a right arm, Chica coming with the right leg, Golden Freddy coming with the left arm, Foxy coming with the body, and Bonnie coming with the left leg. And so here they are. Gonna set these guys all off to the side, and we can begin the assembly. And then at the end of the review, I will show off Golden Freddy, because like I said, I'm not going to review him. I am just going to show you him, because he's exactly the same as Freddy. Articulation, accessories, everything. He's just painted up differently. So let me set those guys off to the side and bring in the parts of Springtrap. So here we have Springtrap's body. He's going to attach his leg onto the ball joint. Attach this leg to the ball joint as well. There we have his legs on. Bring his arm, pop that on, bring his other arm, pop that on, and here we have, excuse me, here we have the completed Five Nights at Freddy's Wave 1 of the Funko Five Nights at Freddy's figures of Springtrap, done and complete. And yes, I know he's standing in a wonky pose, but this is as low as his arms actually go. So let's actually get in here and do the size comparisons real quick. So we have Rapture, the Heavenly Knight, which was my 100 subscriber video. So if you haven't checked that out, please be sure to do so. Here we have a little Doctor Who Dalek, or Dalek, whatever you prefer to call them. You can see that. And with a recent figure, Combiner Wars Mirage. So you can see about how big he is compared to that. Now let's get in here and take a look at the magnificent, the just astonishing detail in this figure. Again, as with all the other figures, my only complaints are his eye colors. And also, as you can see, his eyes are a little bit sloppily painted on the white parts of his eyes, but his eye color is also wrong. His eye colors are supposed to be either they're like a dark green, or they're supposed to be gray, or they are like a purplish color. I can't really remember, but here we go. Let's get in here and take a look at the details. So, all this red stuff you see coming out of him, some of it will be organs like this here and these here, and then some of it is wires like this stuff pouring from his head, but the stuff around his eyes is organs and blood. Here's some more wires. Here's some more wires up here. Here's some nice, like, decrepit detail on the back, and you can see just the paintwork on this thing is amazing. You can see it here on the ear. You can see the endoskeleton kind of sticking through. On his muzzle here, you can see his nose is all damaged and torn apart. Side of his head, that side of his head is completely asymmetrical. Nothing is the same mold on this guy. Even his shoulder pads are completely different. You just come in here and you look at the detail on his arms, all kinds of decrepit detail. He's missing his finger on this hand, which is accurate to the game. You got some more wires, got some more holes and stuff. Then you've got the entrails of... Okay, I'm probably going to put this in the description in all caps before I actually upload this video. This is spoiler warnings. If you do not wish to hear any spoilers for the Five Nights at Freddy series, don't watch the rest of this video, because I'm about to spoil the entire the entire story, or what I believe is the entire story. Springtrap here, as we all know, contains inside of him the body of the purple guy, who is also Afton. I can't remember what his first name was, but his name is something Afton. He is the creator of the Five Nights at Freddy's animatronics. He is eventually killed by somebody in the newest game, who I'm not going to spoil that for, but he is killed by a certain somebody using a certain machine that basically rips out your skeleton and or the endoskeleton of an animatronic. And then that somebody, combined with all of the other somebodies in the game's sister location, then take over your skin and body and portray as Afton, as the human guy, so they can get out of the place that they are in, because it was just torment, and nothing in there was good or happy at all, because they were being tortured and forced to dance to make people happy. So That being so, it was never Afton's fault any of those children were murdered. It was actually just a self-defense that the animatronics in Sister Location were doing. They were just trying to protect themselves from being put back into the place, so what they did was kill anybody, basically, who got near them, and then eventually got to the point where they got trapped inside this body, and it was crushed, and the organs and stuff just happened to be in there, and that's why it's still able to move around and function on its own, considering it's a spring lock suit, and this is Spring Bonnie, who is the acquaintance of Golden Freddy here, who is actually the ghost illusion form of Fredbear, who is also Nightmare Fredbear in the Five Nights at Freddy's 4 story. So that's basically who this is if nobody knows. So let's just move on with the details. Very nice looking paint. They did mess up because this bulge right here is supposed to be red, but oh well, I can easily overlook it. As you can see, this awesome detail. It's got some weird, strange, cufflinks on his upper legs, which is present in the game, and then you can see all these entrails and these guts and stuff hanging off of the back of his legs, which is probably meat, and then you got some tendons stretching across here on the backs of his legs and his feet and stuff too, and running up his legs, and that just looks gruesome and very, very gory. And then you can see his teeth are painted in very nicely, and I think I covered all the details. And then also there's this hand, which looks very nice. I pop the arm off and you can see this nice spongy detail going on. My only complaint is with this hand. You can see the tip of the pointer finger. That's actually the endoskeleton's finger. It would have been nice if they painted it instead of just keeping it the same as all this, but oh well, what are you going to do? The same with the nub on this finger and the middle part of this finger. It would have been nice if they did paint those, but oh well. But articulation. This guy's articulation is pretty much the exact same as all the others. His head is on a ball joint, so you can get some nice range of movements. Of course, it can't swivel around. It doesn't have the neck thing. Of course, the mouth does not open. His shoulders aren't a ball joint, but this one does pop off quite a bit. A lot of them go about that far forward. If they don't pop off, about that far backward. The elbow, it's really, really limited, especially just because the shape of his upper arm. It's pretty limited, and then the hands do move, but they're very, very stiff, so I don't recommend trying to move them if you don't want to damage any of the paint. His legs go up that far forward, pretty much don't go backwards at all. Then he has his ball jointed knee, so you can get some swivels and turns out of that. So while he's definitely the least posable of all of Wave 1, he's by far the best looking out of all of them, in my opinion. There's quite a few people that argue and say that either Bonnie or Freddy or any of them are the best looking, but I personally say this guy's the best looking by far. So now let's move him off to the side and take a look at Golden Freddy real quick, and I'll bring in normal Freddy here for a comparison. So as you can see right off the bat what the obvious differences are, Golden Freddy being, well, gold, obviously, like a yellowish gold. Their hats and ties are exactly the same. Golden Freddy, his eyes are very metallic, not metallic, a black paint with a sheen on it to represent the white dots that he has inside of his eyes, which are actually the camera glares of the animatronics eyes, just in case nobody knew that. That's pretty much it in terms of what's different on him, besides just being this boring yellowish color. As you can see, the microphones are exactly the same. The faces are exactly the same. No different sculpting whatsoever. I would have loved it if they made it where his wires were coming out of his eyes and in his shoulders and a few spots on his knees, but nope. Exactly the same articulation-wise. And then also they both have the bobblehead problem, and his head is turning backwards. So as you can see, they both have that weird bobblehead problem. I guess it's just a widespread issue with this mold in general. Not entirely sure. But, so yeah, guys, that pretty much concludes the entire series of the Five Nights at Freddy's Funko figures. I'm not 100% positive whether or not they're going to be releasing a Wave 2 of these guys. I've heard some people say that they will be, and they're going to be the withered animatronics, and you get to build like Nightmare Fredbear or Mangle or something like that with the body parts from that. But then again, these are just rumors, so do not quote me on this because I do not know for sure. So let me just get these guys all posed up right here so that you can see. And Chica dropped her cupcake again. But what is new? So, what I think of this line, my personal opinions, is this line is amazing. This is just about as good as you're going to be able to get with figures that you don't really get to see that much of inside of the game. Because if you've noticed inside the games, you don't exactly see the characters in the most detail. They are quite hard to actually see, and a lot of the times they're in dark places, especially Springtrap. I'm so surprised they got him looking so good, or him or her, whatever you prefer to call it. It's just phenomenal. They couldn't have done any better with Springtrap. Now, granted, his articulation is a little bit wonky and hindered, but then again, so are all the others. They're robots. I mean, they're robots wearing costumes. They're not going to be doing ninjutsu or anything like that, so... Well, guys, I am Shockwave640, and this was Springtrap, Golden Freddy, Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, so I hope you enjoyed the series. If they do release a Wave 2, I will try to get them all and review them, much as I did with these guys. So, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you will. And stay tuned for the next video. There's not going to be a voting because I have another special review planned. Maybe for tomorrow. I'm going to be really busy with Thanksgiving dinners and stuff like that, so... well, guys, I will be seeing you later. I am Shockwave640, and thanks for watching, my little Logicons. Peace.